Story 1. Most people will forget about you if you stop reaching out. The few who remain consistent, regardless of distance or circumstance, are the true friends. I learned a lot when I stopped being the one to initiate contact first. Story 2. When you are in public, nobody is looking at you for more than a second, and you should not feel self-conscious or anxious in those settings. Everyone is busy doing something. This message is for those who struggle with overthinking and anxiety. Story 3. I remember reading a post about a man who was annoyed with his girlfriend and didn't understand why she got excited about the little things between them. They broke up, he found someone else, and then he realized how exciting relationships could be because of the little things. So, yes, your soulmate is someone who also wants to be with you and is excited for you. Story 4. Time is your most valuable asset. You can make more money, but you cannot get back lost time. Be purposeful with how you spend it. Story 5. No one really cares about you. Only a few close people do. They're too focused on themselves to think much about you. With that knowledge, you're kind of free, but then those who don't want to be seen sometimes become popular. It's hard to win. Story 6. You will grow old. All the things you overlook in youth will eventually cause pain. Life is not fair, and it can be very challenging to maintain your moral compass. Story 7. Just because you have credit available on your card doesn't mean you can afford something. If you're not paying off your credit card's full statement balance every month, you can't afford whatever you're buying. Story 8. You will never be truly happy until you are self-aware, committed to honesty with yourself and others, and live your days intentionally. Story 9. You may never be famous, and if you are, it likely won't be for something you wish to be known for. Story 10. You don't need to care about what others think, especially about you. Stay true to yourself and you will likely be much happier. Story 11. Stop holding yourself back and push yourself in all aspects a little each day, so that anything needed can be done without feeling helpless, worried, or stuck in your own thoughts. Engage in bodyweight physical activity daily. Make a commitment to exercise your mind each day, even if it is as simple as reading. Decide to actively make at least one good moral decision each day. Over time, it all becomes second nature, and you free yourself from the distractions that trap others. Story 12. Everyone has opinions. It doesn't matter if you like them or not, or if you find them offensive. Story 13. Being healthy takes effort. Achieving good health requires dedication. If you are not putting in the effort, then you are becoming less healthy every day. Work on it now so you do not regret it later. Story 14. Anxiety is an emotion, and if you are a functioning adult, you need to learn to manage it, not suppress it. Anxiety disorders are real, but most people do not have them. They simply experience anxiety, as normal adults do and should. Instead of discussing and reflecting on what anxiety is, people often overmedicate and use it as an excuse to avoid taking action. Story 15. Most people are doing the best they can with their knowledge and experience. Do not absorb the projections of others. Stay true to yourself. Story 16. No one actually cares about you other than close family members, and even then you might be surprised by how few people truly care. Live for yourself, your spouse, and your children. Story 17. You might think you do not get paid enough to handle the unpleasant aspects of a difficult job. The reality is that you do not receive sufficient compensation to avoid them. If you do not want to deal with the less desirable tasks, invest in self-improvement until you can choose to avoid them. This is based on a conversation I had with a young individual who was connected to the boss. Story 18. If your resume shows that you change jobs every 12 months or less, I will not call you. I cannot waste time and resources on someone who will not stay long-term. If you come in for an interview with the scent of marijuana, I will judge you just as harshly as if you came in smelling of alcohol. If you need a buzz at 10 a.m., you have a problem. Story 19. For a guy, nobody cares what you are going through, not even your partner. For a girl, if you are mildly attractive, you can get by on that alone. I didn't say it was fun advice, but it's honest. Story 20. Read the Judgy Fish Notebook of Passive-Aggressive Fish Stickers. Is that how you always drive? I'm happy that you are happy. Wow. That was a family-sized lasagna. Story 21. You do not matter. None of us matter. In the grand scheme of the universe, no one who has ever existed or will ever exist in this infinitesimally tiny blue dot matters. Story 22. You're right. The world doesn't care how you feel, but you have to improve yourself first. Don't worry about others or about feeling happy. Life can be challenging and unfair, but you just have to be strong about it. Story 23. It is your responsibility to take care of yourself, to achieve your goals, and to ensure your comfort, health, security, and financial stability. To accomplish these things successfully, you need to make sound long-term decisions based on facts and reality, even when the truths are unpleasant. The universe owes you nothing, and the quality of your life is entirely dependent on your willingness to put in the necessary effort to contribute something of value to the world. Story 24. Being an adult doesn't prevent you from having fun in your life. Do the things you want to do before it's too late. Story 25. You are being fed complicated and insidious stories by individuals who seek to exploit for political or financial gain. Story 26. The majority of people do not care if you are doing well or not. Some people feel better when you are not doing well and may even feel bitter when you are succeeding. Only a small number of people are genuinely happy for you when things are going well. Story 27. Many people are selfish, whether they realize it or not. In fact, many will only interact with you because they want something from you to some degree. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but don't be surprised when people forget about you after you have done something for them. Many of our engagements and interactions are transactional by nature. It's life. Story 28. Everyone wants to console you when you are down, but no one wants to celebrate you when you're up. Jealousy is challenging. Story 29. If you are unhappy, your life will not improve unless you actively try to make it better. It will be challenging, but no one is coming to save you. Do not expect that things will simply resolve on their own. You alone are responsible for your own happiness. Many aspects that make you miserable stem from your choices. You can make different choices. Start acting now. Story 30. Nobody thinks about you as much as you think they do. Do not view this as a negative. Consider it as a freedom to be less concerned about others' opinions of you. Story 31. We are small compared to what is out there, and we can only hope that one day we stop thinking so small. Otherwise, we will doom ourselves. Story 32. They don't care about you. The people you fear are judging you. We are so conditioned to be fearful of negative judgment from others when, honestly, those people aren't paying you any mind because they have their own issues. You aren't that important, which is great news. Be yourself and do it loudly and proudly because none of us are getting off this planet alive. Wasting a lifetime caring about what others think to the point of altering our paths or desires to make others happy is unreasonable. Live for yourself. There's a lot less pressure that way, and that's true freedom. Story 33. Playing the victim does not benefit you in the long run. When something bad happens, you may feel like a victim, and it hurts. Allow yourself to mourn what happened and try to adopt a different mindset. However, too often, individuals remain in a victim mentality, expecting others to resolve their issues for them. Story 34. If you can't be honest without being harsh, you lack communication skills. Harshness should be the exception, not the rule. There is no harsh honesty for everyone. Most of us can understand loving honesty. Try loving honesty first before being harsh. Story 35. You spend so much time feeling guilty for not doing enough that you forget to consider feeling guilty for what you are doing too much, even though both are equal in terms of choices. Story 36. Most of your ailments can be resolved or at least lessened if you eat better, exercise, and sleep more. Story 37. Stop holding on to a birthday cake candle when there is a streetlight waiting for you. The CJM. Story 38. Encouraging and boosting someone's self-esteem and confidence is important, but it can be dangerous. Ensure that individuals understand the limits of their knowledge and abilities. This is especially problematic in the medical community. There are many medical-adjacent occupations, such as personal support workers, practical nurses, and ultrasound technicians, that are well qualified for their roles but are not doctors. Many schools offering these courses aim to develop confident students, which is positive, but often graduates emerge believing they are medical experts and may offer medical advice beyond their expertise. Story 39. Just because you were the bright shining star in high school or college, it doesn't mean that status extends into the adult world. I have encountered many people who are confused about why they are not admired as they were in school. Story 40. Just because you agree with a group of people on Reddit or with your Facebook friends does not mean that you are in the majority or that you are correct. Story 41. Don't be rude. Stop driving as if you are angry at the world. A vehicle is a moving danger at 75 miles per hour. Other people exist, and you should stop thinking about yourself all the time. Say thank you if someone is helpful. If you think it's a bad idea, it probably is. Stop complaining about retiring if you spend $7 on a coffee and "you only live once" is your tagline. Story 42. Do not listen to your thoughts. They are merely a reflection of what the world has programmed you to believe. Just acknowledge them. Story 43. If you've done something you regret, allow yourself to feel the necessary emotions to inspire change. Do not stop at the point where it becomes harmful. You will not change unless you fully embrace this process. Story 44. Feel the emotions instead of trying to push them down, because otherwise it is just going to build up. Story 45. Porn is negatively impacting your attention span and relationships. The dopamine release from pornography is comparable to that of drugs. Society is conditioning individuals to become lazy and mentally impaired through pornography and social media. If you are defending the use of pornography, you are essentially defending drug use. You may already be too far gone. Story 46. Being hard on yourself but not others is narcissistic. Why do you hold yourself to a higher standard than others? Why do you think you should be better than them? Obviously, there are people who have mental illnesses that heavily distort their self-esteem, and this doesn't apply to them. Story 47. During weekdays, entertain your clients. Set aside a day on the weekend to engage with your competition. You will gain insights that may surprise you. Story 48. There aren't that many people out there who care enough to go out of their way to annoy you. At the end of the day, you are just a random person walking around in public. Story 49. You should consider having some therapy. Nobody is immune to being human. It is rare for a person to know how to navigate life in a healthy way. We all tend to fumble through it and try our best, which means we could all use a little guidance. Story 50. Donald J. Trump is a compromised Russian asset. 49% of Republicans put a full-blown Russian in the White House. Reap what you sow. Story 51. Jimi Hendrix said that, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, only then will the world know peace. But we can't have peace because then people would be bored. The need to conquer will always be present, and history will continue to repeat itself until the end of time. Story 52. I advised you not to swing your toes because I am not a bad person. However, I am going to cut off your leg. Story 53. Life has no participation trophies. It's not fair. Companies may not treat you well. Only one or two, maybe three current friends will stick with you through thick and thin. Cherish them and return the favor. Know when to walk away even if it hurts. It gets better. No matter how dark it seems, things will eventually improve. You always have time to be kind and considerate toward a stranger. Who knows? You might give them a reason to keep going. Story 54. Your odor is no better than anyone else's. Some may try to convince you otherwise, but it's still a human feature. Regardless, you must also learn that your flatulence might clear a room. You may inadvertently hurt others. It's best to be humble and accept that you have done so. Story 55. You believe in God. Even if it is not the traditional God, you believe in something higher, whether that is yourself, money, approval, or materialism as your higher power. Story 56. Women. At some point, many of you will realize that a career is not the ultimate goal you were led to believe, and it might be too late to have children. Biologically, many of you are inclined to find fulfillment in motherhood, and you have a limited amount of time. Don't wait. Fulfillment is more important than a career. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.